I'm Nicky from Little Ones, and today I'm going to be talking about the question or comment, my baby hates sleep. I can assure you that your baby or toddler does not hate sleep. In fact, hate is something that babies aren't even capable of doing anyway, because it's a very mature emotion, so there's no way that your baby is experiencing the actual emotion of hate. What is likely happening if you're one of those people who candidly or not so candidly says my baby hates sleep is they're probably crying when they go to sleep, or they're refusing to go to sleep, they're resisting your settling attempts, they're getting frustrated, they're getting worked up, and they're just not sleeping. This doesn't mean that they hate sleeping. Sleep, especially for babies, is so important. Naps are really important. Trying to achieve good night's sleep is also really important. If your baby is napping and sleeping poorly, then it might seem like they hate sleep because they're so overtired. And so a baby who is overtired is going to go into their bed and they're going to cry and they're going to flap around and they're going to be unsettled and grumpy and probably fight you if you're trying to settle them to sleep. It's not that they hate sleep. Sleep is actually the one thing that they really need in that situation. They just can't go to sleep because they're so overtired. A similar thing can happen if your baby or toddler isn't ready for sleep yet. So if they just have already had enough sleep, if they had a really good sleep overnight and you're trying to put them down for a nap in the morning and they're just not going to sleep, they don't hate sleeping, they don't hate napping. It's maybe just that they are not tired enough to have a nap yet, and they're going, hang on, get me out of here, like I want to still be playing or up with you, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. Your baby doesn't hate sleep, they're just not ready for sleep. Something we hear a little bit too is people say, oh, the second I walk into my baby's room, they start crying, this is because they hate sleep and they associate their room with sleep. It's not because they hate sleep, it's probably because they've made the connection that their room is the place that they go to sleep, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing that they're starting to make those connections and make those sleep associations and understand that when they're in their room, they sleep. But they're probably crying because they know that sleep is coming, or that you are going to attempt to put them to sleep, and they are overtired, or they are undertired, or they're still hungry, or they have wind, or they're uncomfortable, or their sleep environment is too stimulating or bright, or there's too many toys, and they're just not able to go into their room and get in the zone for sleep. What can happen sometimes too is, and it happened with my eldest child, is some babies just grizzle when they're going to sleep. No matter what you do, you might even be actively settling them to sleep, and they just grizzle when they're falling asleep. And for some babies, this is just how they unwind, get some stress out. They're just winding down to sleep. These babies generally then go on to be toddlers and children who will just chat to themselves when you put them in bed, sing to themselves, or talk to themselves while they're lying there getting ready to go to sleep. There are other babies, like my son was, who would go into bed and be totally silent, and you wouldn't know if he was awake or asleep because he just lay there in silence while he drifted off. So it might be, if you think your baby hates sleep, maybe this is just the way that they're winding down for sleep. If you think your baby hates sleep because they're just not sleeping at all, then that's something that we could help you look at a bit more. And maybe that's something in their daytime structure that needs changing, their nap times, their awake times. Maybe we need to start looking at the environment in which they're going to sleep. Maybe we need to be able to get all of those steps lined up so we can then look at something further, something else that is preventing them from sleeping. And that might be a medical issue, it might be a tongue tie, it might be hunger. So we can start to take those steps at that point. To sum up, no baby hates sleep. Babies want sleep, they need sleep, and it's actually our job to help them sleep and to help them get the best sleep that they can for their age. I hope that's helped, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for lots more baby sleep videos.